number 5. It's Australia race number 10 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1100 metres for 2-year-olds, and 2-year-old form. Who knows how to analyse it?
Yeah, it is. I just almost went with the order out of a chapter of 50 Shades of Grey. We've got Acquaintance, Babble, God I Love You, Release the Sacks, Our Time Will Come.
It's a different way of doing form.
Yeah, well, it's a narrative written in front of us. It's some pretty funny names in this race, but we'll try and pick them on horse form.
It is very bizarre indeed. There's no doubt about that. I'll be intrigued to see how those form lines stack up the way you've taken a look at it. We'll go the traditional way and have a look at a replay now. And last start winner, Spangled Impact, won it by 2 lengths. Let's take a look at that run now.
Very well, Double Light sticks with it though. Chinstrap claimed them. Down the outside is another of the newcomers. Spangled Impact though with a run. And Spangled Impact goes up to Chinstrap. Back behind them, Our Time Will Come. Double Light's runs come to an abrupt halt. But it's Spangled Impact, the demerit filly, pulling away from them. And she's run right to a good trial form. Came away Spangled Impact.
It was a super debut performance by Spangled Impact and had so much to give on the line. Look, it really beat the 7, Our Time Will Come, fair and square, thrashed it in fact, but that was on a slow track, and what we saw of the 7, Our Time Will Come, the next start, just dismissed that run, so it's very interesting to weigh those two up.
Well, let's talk about Our Time Will Come, because although drawn wide, it carries us to 54.5 here, so it gets a nice weight swing on a lot of these horses for beating them.
Yeah, it picks up 4 kilograms on Spangled Impact, which will certainly come in handy. It's drawn wide, but this horse has a lot of gate speed. And it just needs to repeat what it did last start and be very hard to beat.
Number 1, God I Love You, was a horse that ran on strongly. It needed time to almost wind up, but I thought with the speed in this race, it might be one that can get home.
Yeah, that seemed to be the theme of that race, wasn't it? A lot of horses were lost on the bend, struggling to catch up with Our Time Will Come, but finished off very nicely. And it was probably the most impressive, and second up here, you'd like to think there's further improvement.
Tell us about Speedy Ladidi as well. 3 trials, 3 victories. That the last one, absolute ease, winning by 2 lengths for Trevor Andrews. Sean McGrady to ride.
Yeah, it's really well bred. It's the Half to Choice Bro, which has won about $500,000. It's drawn well here, won all 3 trials, all impressive. No knock at all. Looks like it'll turn up and race.
Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to be tipping Speedy Ladidi from number 7, Our Time Will Come, number 1, God I Love You, and number 8, Spangled Impact.
The 7 on top, Our Time Will Come, from 11, Speedy Ladidi, the 9, Noble Image, and number 8, Spangled Impact.
Race number 6 is Australia race number 12 for our Singapore viewers. It's a Group 3 AJ Scales Stakes over the 1400 metres, and we see a lot of these runners coming in from the Winterbottom.
Yeah, this is a great race, isn't it? We have, I think, 5 horses from the Winterbottom, 1 from the Railway Stakes, and Respondent coming from the Peters. So it'll be very interesting to see how those form lines go, with everything rising in distance except for Respondent and Battle Hero, which will be dropping back.
Well, the Winterbottom is a great form racer for this one. Waterman's Bay flew home late to finish second behind Buffering. There's no Buffering in this race, so maybe it'll get its chance on Saturday. Let's take a look at the run now.
Fast and rocking, searching for run, and now to the outside, Waterman's Bay, but Buffering led them at the 250. Brown went to work. The great horse Buffering led the way from Mad Azza. Down the outside, here comes Waterman's Bay, mowing turf. Buffering in front, Waterman's Bay running on hard, but Buffering wins the Winterbottom again. Buffering again.
Just racing so well, isn't it, Waterman's Bay at the moment? Just hasn't got that elusive Winterbottom Stakes, and perhaps it'll be 8 years old next year. Might have missed its opportunity, but I don't want to write it off, because it won this race last year after a brilliant performance in the Winterbottom, so it all stacks up for Waterman's Bay to win this again.
Number 7, Magnificio, certainly going to be a very big threat in this race. Gets home strongly. We saw that 2 starts ago behind Blackheart Bud over the 1400 metres. Conditions to suit as well. I think it's right in the mix.
Yeah, it just couldn't get into the race last start. I think Jason Brown had to take that wide line, but in the end, the field had stretched out at that point and there was just nothing that could have been done. So the 1400 metres here looks like an ideal step up at this point, but perhaps held by Waterman's Bay, who had its measure last year in this race.
What Parnham Galloper do you prefer in this, Rommel and Checkpoint, because both have very good second up records?
I'm not too sure. Checkpoint certainly has a great second up record, as you mentioned, but was okay in the Winterbottom after a great run. Was beaten 3 lengths, which is a good effort. But Rommel, I thought, was okay as well, but probably more scope and is a younger galloper, but is carrying a career record weight. I'm a bit torn with this.
And what about number 6, Battle Hero? Comes from the Railway, carries the 59 kilos here, but leading into that Railway as well, the form lines were very strong.
Yeah, I think this can win it. No, the only thing that stopped me from tipping on top is the 59 kilograms, which is the most Battle Hero would have had to carry. But I like the fact that it's dropping back in distance. And last start was just in a horrible position. It should have been a lot closer in the run, but got too far back, and then the race was lost before it got into it.
Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to be tipping number 1, Waterman's Bay, from number 7, Magnificio, number 4, Rommel, and number 5, Checkpoint.
1, Waterman's Bay, from 6, Battle Hero, the 7, Magnificio, and the 3, Dawn Approach.
Race number 7, it's Australia race number 14 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 2,200 metres. It's the Tab Touch Provincial Stayers final. We've seen a lot of these go head to head, and it's going to be an intriguing race because a horse like Planets Align just continues to impress.
Yeah, it's undefeated, and it has just been so well in the running, just so strong. Nothing looks like it can get past it. A very well put together galloper, and last start was so strong.
Let's take a look at that victory because it was able to win by a half length on that occasion. William Piker rode that horse, got back on. He keeps the ride here again. We'll take a look at the closing stages now.
Heart and Tone were next to the Conjurer at the cutaway, 300 left to go, led by 2 lengths. Pike goes to work on Planets Align, trying to run this leader down, who's given a bold account. DeBang coming through in the middle, down the outside then Dust Me Off from Blustery and down Maydell. Planets Align, DeBang have gone to the Conjurer. Pike draws the whip, Planets Align, DeBang, Planets Align gets the head in front, the fave too good, makes it a winning hat-trick.
Yeah, just another first-class performance by Planets Align. It looks like a galloper that's certainly going places. You don't remain undefeated after 3 starts without good cause. The concern is the gear changes. Blinkers off, winkers on. Why change the gear on a horse that's undefeated? But I guess we'll soon see, because I really rate Jeffrey van der Molen as a trainer.
Maybe we'll be asking Jeff a post-race why he did that. If he's able to win this race, certainly they'll be very hard to beat and favourites in betting through the early markets. Number 2, Our Mate Al. This horse is starting to get a bit of a rep for a non-winner. 2 victories for 6 placings as well from the 17 career starts, but it runs on strongly.
Yeah, I think it can turn the tables on Planets Align. It was a great run last start, covered a lot more ground and is off a much more favourable spacing between runs. It's drawn nicely. It's a huge chance in this.
One horse that I've got a lot of time for is number 12, Shintamani. You look at the career stats, 12 starts for 1 victory in 3 places. They don't read well, but this horse finished second behind Delicacy. It was a really good win 3 starts ago, and it just needs a bit of speed and that chance to run on late because it's got a devastating turn of foot.
Yeah, it does, and look, it has developed into a really nice stayer. Last start was just the most unfortunate circumstances. It was caught back in the field and it didn't want to take it on because it would have been exposed and handed the race to another one, but ultimately just left the run a little bit too late, but the finish was still impressive.
Let's take a look at the selections then, and I'm going to be going with William Pike on Planets Align from number 12, Shintamani, number 2, Our Mate Al, and number 11, Saxapack.
The 12, Shintamani on top from 1, Planets Align, 2, Our Mate Al, and the 3, Sax on, Sax off.
Race number 8 is Australia, race number 16 for our Singapore viewers, and if you're still alive in the quaddie, this might be one you want to take the field.
Oh, this is impossible. I really struggled with this race. There's so many I wanted to give a solid chance to, but you just can't fit them in your market.
You mentioned a little bit earlier on in the program how well Ashley Marley is training, and this horse, it somehow runs into a lot of trouble, but Peter Hall was able to get it out of trouble last start. It was a winner at Northern over the 1100 metres. I speak of Red Publisher, and we'll take a look at that performance now.
Convoluted, Mickey Moto, Gift outside, Sleepy Striker. Back behind them, Pirate's Fortune. Fringe is starting to get up near the inside with Nicotrice. Held up for a run, Ripper Red. Lord Apollo angling for a narrow run as well. At the 200, Al Faisal in front, the rider of Pirate's Fortune. He clipped heels, went down. Sleepy Striker, Red Publisher got through. Fringed against the rail. It's Fringed and Red Publisher. Red Publisher Fringed. Red Publisher the outside of Fringed. Red Publisher. Red Publisher just won.
I think in the straight there was half the width of a horse gap for Peter Hall to take, but he forced that into a full horse width and he got through with just a brilliant ride, breaking the heart of Fringed right on the line in what was an incredibly action-filled race. The couple of horses, well, Pirate's Fortune fell and Ripper Red. Wasn't it a good thing, Beaton?
It certainly was. It was a massive run by Ripper Red, getting home strongly. We need a bit of speed in this race from the draw.
Yeah, it doesn't have a great record above 1,000 metres and 1,100 less so, and then 1,200 has not a great record at all. So, although placed a few times, just hasn't won. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
You mentioned the word heartbroken when you were going through Red Publisher. Now, number 1, Tudor Bolt. You were on it 2 starts ago, a nice victory. Last start, you were very keen on it. It was a nice price. Brilliant ride by Jared Noski.
Yeah.
Looked the winner, and then, as she does so many times, Lucy Warwick just came down the outside.
Yeah, look, it was, can't begrudge Hobart Jones. It was waiting for that performance, and, you know, Tudor Bolt had every opportunity, but what we have to look at is how much stronger the form lines of that race was compared to anything else in this. And Look, the barrier's awkward, but if it gets into a 3-wide line, I think Tudor Bolt can win this, but I'm not confident at all.
What about number 6, Fringed as well? It's an honest galloper. He continues to run well, beaten at 1.3 by Tudor Bolt, then beaten by a short neck by Red Publisher. Drawn nicely in barrier 5.
Yeah, it has. It's been getting to the positions just by perfect rides by Ryan Hill, and hey, he has the opportunity to do the same here from a great barrier, so I can't knock Fringed at all. Should be getting a good run.
Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to be going with number 14, Ripper Red, from number 3, Red Publisher, number 6, Fringed, and number 5, Real Icon.
And 1, Tudor Bolt on top from the 8, Spiritualised to bounce back, 10, Furious Dame, and number 17, Pirates Fortune, pending a start.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of Box Seat, so it's time now to take a look at the best bets, and I'm going to be tipping race 4, number 12, The Forgotten One, and race 6, number 1, Waterman's Bay.
I'm with you with one of those and going the 12s all together. Race 4, number 12, The Forgotten One, and race 7, number 12, Shintamani.
And an exciting time for Perth racing at the moment with all the big events still to come, including Perth Cup. So a great opportunity to jump on perthracing.com.au and make sure you book a nice room or function or any of those for those race meetings. And also follow us on social media, because it's the replays I saw going up on the Perth Racing Twitter account as well during the week.
Yeah, a bit behind the times. We tried desperately to get them up, but now they're up there. It's really engaging the punters off course, which is what we need to do.
And for our faithful followers who have found plenty of winners, this will be your last Box Seat with us.
It will. So it's been a lot of fun, and just
new adventure.
I think we found a few winners between us, and that's all we can do.
I think you've found plenty, mate. They'll be very happy with you. Best of luck with that adventure.
Indeed, thank you, Adam.
Of course, we'll be back with another edition of Box Seat next week.